Art is always a bit of a mind game between the spectator and the artist, where context is key. So I want to tell you about 5 iconic yet confusing paintings from the Tretjakov gallery. This painting is called Bathing of a Red Horse. It's by Russian artist Kuzma Petrov-Fotkin. The artist's original idea for a genre art painting outgrew itself, but he only realized it after having learned that the Russian Empire entered World War I, some 2 years after the painting had been finished.
So that's why I painted Bathing of a Red Horse,
Petrov-Fotkin said upon hearing the grim news. It was a premonition about an upcoming social catastrophe. Petrov-Fotkin was inspired by the Novgorod school of icon painting, famous for this bold color code. Traditional in icon painting, saints on red horses symbolize an eternal battle against evil. Having seen tremendous success, the painting found itself somewhat stuck in Europe during World War I, and the Tretjakov gallery only obtained it years later in 1961. Another confusing work of art is The Demon Downcast. The artist Mikhail Vrubil first turned to the subject in 1891 when he was asked to illustrate Mikhail Lermontov's poem The Demon. Since then, he would turn to it again and again. Vrubil's mental health suffered a blow when his son Sava was born with a cleft lip. Apparently, he somehow linked it with his demon. 3 years after that, in 1902, he painted The Demon Downcast. And even after the painting was presented to the public, he continued working on it, adding more and more details. The demon wouldn't let go. Soon his mental health deteriorated so significantly that he was admitted into an asylum. And after lengthy therapy, Vrubil mostly painted from life. Unfortunately, his hallucinations came back, but without the demon. His last work was an almost icon-like image, the vision of the prophet Ezekiel. In 1908, the Tretjakov gallery bought The Demon Downcast for its permanent exhibition. Marc Chagall's painting Over the Town is a testament to one of the happiest moments in his life. A son of an unskilled worker, he was no match for a wealthy jeweler's daughter. But Chagall went to Paris to make a name for himself, and when he returned in 1915, he married his beloved Bella. And this feeling of infinite happiness to be reunited with one's greatest love is what Marc Chagall tried to depict by painting himself and his wife Bella flying over a town. If you look closer, you can notice 2 peculiar details. Look at the green goat. It's Chagall's way of saying that all is a bit surreal and thus full of joy. Green is also the color of youth and happiness for the artist. He sometimes used to depict himself using green too. Now, spot the shameless guy with his pants down, crouching by the fence. A gentle reminder that regardless of how happy a couple may be on cloud 9, life still takes its course. Despite the fact that Vasily Vereshchagin painted the apotheosis of war way back in 1871, this work looks painfully modern. After graduating from the Sea Cadet course, Vereshchagin left the army and entered the Academy of Arts. Having studied in St. Petersburg and Paris, he accepted General Kaufmann's invitation to become his military artist. Kaufmann made a name for himself during the Russian Empire's expansion into Central Asia. Effectively, Vereshchagin was a war correspondent of his time. He spent decades with the military, traveling to hotspots and depicting war atrocities in his paintings. The apotheosis of war is perhaps his most memorable piece. A pile of skulls with sword marks, vultures hovering above. This timeless scene shows how merciless any war conflict is. Vereshchagin avoided giving out any details on the place, date, or reason for the conflict on purpose. Potentially set anywhere, it could have happened 500 years ago, or be a premonition of what is yet to come. Philippe Malevin's Whirlwind is so large and bright that you won't miss it in the Tretjakov gallery. Because of its size, the painting is perceived as an abstract, but focus on the top half and you will see faces of women, while everything else is this bright and chaotic whirlwind of traditional Russian dress. The artist experimented with composition, and his goal was to lure away the spectators' eyes from the faces, turning the dresses into the main attraction of the painting. Malevin decided to work with pure pigments to create very bright colors. The formula suggested careful use of thinner. He ignored the formula and used his ingredients in abundance, which led to his oils taking ages to dry and unexpected leakage. It all worked to his advantage in the end, resulting in a spectacular illusion of motion. Well, I hope you are now intrigued and maybe even have the urge to go see these original paintings in the Tretjakov gallery. Please let us know in comments below if you would like to find out more about other Russian galleries and museums. And until then, bye!